Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uzoma Dove. The last time we were on this channel, I spoke about my journey to Christianity. If you ever wondered how to know God's will for your life, stay tuned. I'm going to share my own journey on how God led me to the career that I'm currently on. Today I'm sharing my story of how God led me in my career and most of my decisions, and how He speaks to me through dreams, through His word, through people. And yeah, that's it. Growing up, I had it all planned out. I had wanted to study pharmacy. I even wrote JAM twice so that I could study pharmacy. I put pharmacy as my first choice and engineering as my second choice. And pharmacy was born out of admiration of one of my family members who is a pharmacist. And I wrote JAM twice and I didn't make pharmacy because God had a different plan for my life. I wrote the first JAM and wrote the second one because I wanted to study pharmacy. I was spent on studying pharmacy. That was my dream. That was my plan. Guess what? God had a different plan entirely. I didn't get pharmacy. Instead, I got medlab science. And medlab science, I didn't know a thing about it. I knew some of my classmates wanted to study medlab science, but I wasn't really interested. I just wanted my pharmacy. So we got into first year, a lot of hurdles, a lot of confusion. First year, we entered into the university and suddenly we were too much. They had to downsize the class. Some of us were sent to different locations, but somehow God kept me back in the school. And many people, for some reason, thought that I had done like the back end thing to stay back with my closest friend. So after first year, we all crossed over, went to second year. And in second year, I went through the whole courses, but I was still bent on, I went through all the whole courses, I was still bent on studying pharmacy. In third year, I went back, I wrote JAMB. I had even an accident. I still went with my accident. I wrote post-UME, just 1 mark to pharmacy. I still didn't get into pharmacy. I tried everything again and again. It still did not work out. I resolved in my heart to say, oh, okay, probably this is God's plan that I would not be studying pharmacy. So I went on with medlab science. But in my third year, I knew what I wanted. I knew that I was not going to do the routine day-to-day activities as a medlab science, staying in the lab, running tests, running samples. I knew that was not what I wanted. My life, I like dynamics. I like change. I like to do things differently. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I get bored very easily. So I told myself I was not going to pursue a career in the hospital as a routine bench work. I told God that for some reason it looked like that was His plan all along. So He led my life through it. In third year, I wanted to quit because I was so sold out to God, but somehow I found my way back and graduated excellently, and I'm so grateful to God. Everyone was chasing what they wanted, but God somehow kept me right where He wanted me to be. Some courses were so difficult, some came easy. I'm more of a practical person than a theory person. So I like to practicalize. If you show me something 1 or 2 times, it sticks and I can replicate it the same way. Yeah, that's me. Everything began to make sense. I met the roommate who introduced me to fellowship, like I mentioned in my previous video, and I think that was God's plan for me to meet Him in school. Looking back now, I think I now know why God put me in medlab science. It wasn't really about the academics. It was more about purpose. It was more about Him, following after Him. That same third year was the year I fell in love with God. I began to follow God in seasons. I began to grow. I began to hear Him. I learned how He speaks to me. He speaks to me through words, His word through the Bible. He speaks to me through dreams. Though that one, He always confirms with His word as well. He speaks to me through my friends or through a mentor or through pastor. He always speaks through someone. Those are the ways He speaks to me. I don't like repetition, so I knew that God had a plan. So when I graduated, I went to youth service. I served in a hospital. The hospital had a school attached to it, a secondary school. I started off a club in the school called Hadassah's Club with a group of 20 young girls from JS1 to SS3. We spent time learning about purpose, about faith, about personal grooming. It was more about honing skills, developing your heart. That's the values, integrity, faith, developing your hands, your skill, vocational skills, and developing your head, knowledge, finance. So these were the 3H we were focusing on. And it grew, we impacted lives. My roommate joined me at the time, helping me out when I'm on duty. And that's how we raised these girls. They went home, their parents gave a good feedback, and that blessed my life. It fulfilled my life. It was, the youth service was more of purpose than really serving, and that blessed my life. Eventually I finished, and then I went and started work, and I met with someone who we planned, and I told him I don't want the bench work, and somehow God placed me in this global career. Ended up in sales and marketing, product specialist, and now I'm a field applications scientist. I have always spoken to my friends of my dream of traveling. I knew that I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to know what was out there. I wanted to be in the air. Just didn't know how it was going to happen, but God figured it out. He found a way to position me. He favored me in places that they needed someone to travel. Somehow God single-handedly brought me out to say, you are going for that trip. And that's how I started the journey to travel to different countries. I've met different people. I now train and troubleshoot globally, and I'm so grateful to God for that opportunity. Every decision in my life, God had a hand in it. He found a way to maneuver it. He found a way to position me right where He wanted me to be. And till date, He's still guiding and positioning me. It may look like it does not make sense. Sometimes it looks like it's a delay. Sometimes it looks like it's chaotic. But somehow He finds a way in that chaos. He finds a way in that situation. He still speaks to me today. He still guides me today through His word, through dreams, through people. And every time I'm reminded that God's plan is always better than mine. I make my plans, yes, but God always makes His own plan work out in my life. If you ever felt like your path does not make sense, it looks chaotic, it looks like there's delay, hang in there. God is working out something in the background. Just make your own plans. He would eventually make His own plan work out for you. So yeah, that's my story, from a girl who admired a family member who is a pharmacist to a God-driven, purpose-filled application scientist, traveling globally, affecting and impacting lives in the medical field. Yeah, that's my story. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if this encouraged you. Tell me in the comments how God has led you through unexpected turns. The ways God speaks to you. Have you made plans and God has changed and altered it? Share it in the comment section. I'm here to listen. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time on my video. Bye.